Hi friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 favorite common houseplants. Now, the word common or the title common can make you think of things that are just very basic, very humdrum, not so exciting. But these plants are anything but. These are beautiful plants, each of them in their own way, and I think you'll be surprised at what I've chosen. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've chosen some tropical plants, some foliage plants, and I've chosen some succulents too, okay, because I can't leave them out. I love my succulents and cacti just as much. So let's start off with some traditionally more indoor plants and foliage plants. This one here is my SYNGONIUM white butterfly arrowhead plant. I got this one at Home Depot. And that's the one thing about all of these plants I've either gotten at a big box store or a local nursery. They weren't, you know, plants that I'd had to, you know, order from Indonesia or anything like that. They're all very accessible plants. So this one here, I know you've all seen this at the big box stores, and it's such a beautiful plant. This one is an upright one, but as they get older, they will start growing longer and forming trails. So not only will it start off as a bushy upright plant, but it will grow into a trailing plant, so you can hang it, you can propagate it, all of those wonderful things. And it has lots of new growth in there, lots of new leaves coming through. It's right here in front of my east-facing window. It doesn't get direct light because it will burn if it gets direct sunshine, but it gets very bright light. The one thing about variegated leaves is they do need to have bright light to maintain that variegation. That's pretty much true across all variegated plants. They need to have that bright light. If you put them in a lower light situation, they'll start reverting back to more greener leaf. Okay, now this one is in a cache pot, and it's in a 6-inch pot here. I have it in Fox Farm Ocean Breeze, and it's doing really well. I let it dry out about 3/4 of the way before I add water to it. You know, I can stick my finger down in there, or better yet, use a moisture meter, and then I'll water it once I see that it's completely dry. Now I have seen at the big box stores some other varieties as far as more pink, darker burgundies, but I really like this traditional one of the white butterfly. Okay, that's SYNGONIUM white butterfly. Now, you know I couldn't have a list like this and not choose an AGLAONEMA. Okay, I just added one. I think I'm up to 8 AGLAONEMAs now, but I love them because of their beautiful, beautiful foliage color. This one has 3 buds on it that are about to bloom. This is AGLAONEMA Chinese Evergreen Wishes, and it has such a beautiful variety of color with the pink, the lime green, the darker green. This one sits right next to the SYNGONIUM, and they both get the bright light there. Such an easy plant to take care of. I leave my AGLAONEMAs a little bit drier. You know, I let her go pretty dry before I water them. They don't like wet, really wet roots. But this one has been growing wonderfully. I repotted into the Fox Farm Ocean Breeze. It's doing great. This one I got at Plant Stand of Arizona. And the aglaonemas just come in so many different varieties, whether the variegations green and white, different colors of green. There's so much to choose from, and if you're a real pink lover, you can choose some that have a lot of pink in them. So definitely Aglaonema Wishes is on my top 5 list of favorite common houseplants. Now this one is a Philodendron Emerald Red, and it's in its little pot here. This one I have in about 5-6 feet back from my east-facing patio door, and I love this type of philodendron. Now I have it under a little entryway table, and I notice that it's starting to get pretty tall up here, so I may need to move it soon, but the amount of new leaves that it's giving off is just wonderful, and even more opening up right up top there. Really, really great grower. Just beautiful. And these, you know, I would categorize these right in there with the Prince of Orange, Philodendron Moonlight, those types of philodendrons that are now a little bit more accessible, that you will find them in big box stores or local nurseries. You really can't go wrong with them as far as the beauty of them. I mean, look at even the stems, look how beautiful shade of red they are. And I don't have a humidifier right now in my living room, so this one just gets basic household humidity, and it's doing great, really is, which is something else that I'm surprised about, because I just always thought, you know, philodendrons need a much higher humidity. They really don't. My Prince of Orange and Moonlight don't. They're in my bedroom, and I don't have a humidifier in there, and they're doing wonderful. So these are ones that are not high maintenance or fussy, but have great impact. See that? Common plant or easily accessible plant can be just as beautiful as the more rare, I guess. You know, I think now that word is not as, shouldn't be used, or people are trying not to use it rather, but and there will always be excuse me, rare plants. I think the movement right now is more based on the availability and the pricing or price gouging of a lot of plants that people are deeming rare when they may not necessarily be so rare, and charging hundreds of dollars for them, which your girl ain't gonna be doing that. No. You know, if I had the money, would I buy some of those plants? Maybe. I don't know, but I think I'm just cheap by nature, so I don't know. But I have been able to buy all common, easily accessible plants and have I think, a wonderful collection. Some of my plants used to be on the rare list, or not so easily accessible or uncommon, like my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, but I was patient on that little guy, and I waited for the price to come down and for it to be more accessible, and you know, my wait paid off, and I got it at a really good deal. So there you go. Now let's go into succulents. And one of the genuses that I just love is Sansevierias. Yes, I know they've been reclassified as Dracaena. Okay, I'm going to continue calling them Sansevieria. I'm in my own little room here. In my plant room, they are known as Sansevierias. So I do have many that you would normally see as far as the tall ones, like the Zeylanica or the Laurentii or the bird's nest version. But one of my favorites is this beauty, the Starfish Sansevieria. Now, this one used to be a little bit harder to get, but you can find them now. This is a big one. I've had this one for going on over 3 years, I think. But you can find the smaller versions in a 4-inch or 6-inch pot at local nurseries, even some of the big box stores. And I just love this guy. I have divided it a couple of years ago, and this is one half of it, but since then it's given off this one and this one. I am not going to repot it. I'm gonna let it grow, and I'm not gonna divide it again either. Just gonna let it grow as much as it wants. So this is still a Sansevieria Starfish with the cylindrical leaves, and look how striking that is. That's anything but common or basic, don't you think? I have this one inside right now for the summer because I'm in Phoenix, but you can keep, if you're in an area that has, Rosie, can you not scratch while mommy's filming? Okay, thank you. If you live in a milder summer area, you can have this outside. Rosie, no, honey, no, not right now, just wait. Sorry. No, you know, what do they say? Don't work with kids and dogs. In the fall, I'll take her back outside and she'll spend the winter and spring out there. But this is just a gorgeous plant and one of my absolute favorites in my collection. Sansevieria Starfish. Now, one of the succulents that I highly recommend to individuals, especially if you're living here in the southwestern desert that can take the heat and pretty much a good amount of sun, daily sun, is the Portulacaria AFRA. It comes in the regular green variety and the variegated variety. I have a lot of the green variety. You've probably seen the one in my balcony that's draping or trailing. But I have a few of the variegated, and one of them I converted to a little bonsai. Now, they sell this variegated and the regular green one in big box stores, in hanging baskets, in 6-inch containers, very easily to obtain. And I got one that was just like in a bush form, I think a quart size. And I took it apart and I found a piece that had a very good stalk on it, and I started trimming. And I potted it up in this bonsai planter, and I've had it for about 2 years now, and I trim it about every 2 or 3 months. I'll go through it, take off any of the little dead leaves, and trim any of the little branches that are growing a way that I don't want them to grow, and keep it nice and tight and small like this, like a little bonsai tree. Now this one, again, like the Sansevieria, I brought inside for the summer. It spends the rest of the year outside, but I have it in the front here of my east-facing window where it gets very bright light. The variegated version of the Portulacaria AFRA cannot take direct sun. It will burn, as opposed to the green one where it can take some direct sun. And you can do a green one in the bonsai form easily. I just happen to choose the variegated one. But this is a very common plant, very common succulent that you can find at any big box store, and make it something totally unique, totally unusual. And if you're lucky enough like me to find a little jade elephant at a thrift store, you can add that little jade elephant to your elephant bush bonsai. Look how beautiful that is. And again, this would look lovely the same in the regular green version as it does in the variegated Portulacaria AFRA. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my top 5 favorite common house plants. And it was hard to choose. I picked some up, I put them back, and you know, no, I just talked about that one not too long ago. Let me pick another one. So, you know, my collection is pretty much all common house plants. I don't have the resources to purchase very expensive and rare plants, so I seek out those more easily accessible plants that have a unique look to them, and they are out there, friends. There's just a ton of them. If you know, just have the patience, you know what you're looking for. And, you know, I would challenge you to do that. To seek out those common plants that have your uniqueness to them. And every plant has a uniqueness to it. But something really unique, like the structure of the plant, the color variation of the plant, you know, and I bet you that you will get so many compliments on your houseplant collection. Guarantee it. Okay? I also want to thank, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, thank you to Christian, Crazy Plant Guy, for tagging me on Instagram, and also Rachel down under in Australia from Rachel's Indoor Garden. She also tagged me to do a video like this and share my selection. So thank you guys, I appreciate it. And I tag you. Share with us what your favorite common houseplants are. What are some of the ones in your collection that some people may call common, but you just love, okay? If you like this video, friends, please do give it a thumbs up. That helps me out so much. Make sure you're subscribed already and hit that notification bell down there so you don't miss any of this fun. And I will catch you in the next video, okay? Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.